This is the July 2022 edition of Guest of the Month, coming your way from the Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, precisely channel 104.5, Ilé Àwíyé Òkè Ìbálẹ̀ Òṣogbo, 113 on Star Times, 502 on Free TV, and our various social media platforms. Our guest on the program today is a man who needs little or no introduction because his pedigree is well known. His past in terms of education and career is not hidden. Where he is today is there for all to see. And to cap it up, his aspiration and ambition are as transparent as water. But to fulfill all righteousness, suffice to say that august guest in the month of July started his career as an employee in the insurance sector of the Nigerian economy. Few years later, he became an employer of labor in the same industry. He ventured into politics, first operating from behind the scene, before he eventually became an active player under the current democratic dispensation in Nigeria. He was appointed the Chief of Staff to Osun State Governor in 2010 and served in that capacity for 2 consecutive terms of 8 years. Our guest today contested the 2018 Osun governorship election on the platform of APC and came out victorious. He was sworn in as the 5th democratically elected governor of Osun State on November 27, 2018, and has since then been piloting the affairs of the state. He is by name Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, the sitting governor of Osun State. Mr. Governor. Mr. Governor, on behalf of the Director General, Mr. Rashid Folarami, management and the entire staff of OSBC, I welcome you as our guest on this program today. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola is running in the election less than 2 days from now for a second term of office. We'll be looking at his scorecard in the yet to be concluded first term and why he thinks he deserves another term in office as the governor of Osun State. My name is Akinola Owolabi. My job is to moderate the program, which as usual is going to be bilingual, English and Yoruba. The panelists are Abimbola Babatunde, who will be asking questions in English language, and Mojibola Kayode Oke, who will be doing the same in Yoruba. Abimbola, good to have you on set.
Thank you very much. You're welcome, Mr. Governor.
Thank you.
Mojibola, káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí.
Ẹ ṣeun, gómìnà, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
Whether you are here with us live in our open studios or listening to us on 104.5 FM, watching us on channels 113 on Star Times, 503 Free TV, or on our various social media platforms, I welcome you all. Kindly welcome yourself with a round of applause. Straight to the business of the day. Mr. Governor, sir,
Yeah.
let me start by congratulating you on the ruling of the Federal High Court, Abuja, that dismissed a case instituted against you as the candidate of the APC in the election that is less than 48 hours from now. By now, you must have felt extremely relieved that the legal body is off your neck. How are you feeling, sir?
Well, thank you very much. I thank Almighty God for being very faithful to me. I didn't expect anything less than what happened today. Because in terms of compliance with the procedure, I have no reason to doubt that I was duly elected as the representative of the party, which was very, very transparent. So, most times people don't accept defeat. So, I must commend the judiciary for doing a good job. I think there's hope for everybody looking at what is happening today.
Mojí.
Gómìnà kété lẹ́yìn ètò ìdìbò abẹ́lé ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC nínú ìfẹ́ ti jáwé olúborí gẹ́gẹ́ bí olùdíje ní kọ̀ọ̀kan nínú ẹgbẹ́ lára àwọn tẹ́jọ díje ńgbà ẹ ti dìde pé rárá kò yẹ kó jẹ́ yìí ni ẹgbẹ́ òsùn padà fà kalẹ̀ ẹjọ́ ń lọ ń bọ̀ nílé ẹjọ́ àná nìròyìn gbòde kan pé lónìí onílé ẹjọ́ ò dájọ́ tọ́pọ̀ ń wò pé ìbò tó kọ̀ tún la ẹjọ́ òun ilé ẹjọ́ ò bá tún dá ṣé ti ní lọ́kàn tẹ́lẹ̀ pé kò sí bí ṣe jẹ́ lónìí o mọ̀ pé ilé ẹjọ́ fọjọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ni ení èkejì báà ló ṣe wá rí lára yín àbálò àbábọ̀ ìgbà ẹjọ́ náà.
kádúpẹ́ lọ Ọlọ́run òtítọ́ máa lékè kò fẹ́ ṣe oúnjẹ tá a ṣe mo mọ̀ pé mi ò ṣe dáadáa mi ò tó yẹ kó má jẹ́ kí ẹjọ́ tá a dá lónìí tí mo rò pé yẹ kó jáde a ṣe dáadáa kò lọ́ọ̀ tó èmi mo lè gbàgbé olùkè mo jáwé olúborí nínú ìdìbò tá a ṣe èmi ní mo tiẹ̀ ní anything láti sọ pé èmi ní mo ṣe nílé mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn adájọ́ tí wọ́n dúró lórí ìtọ́ mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́.
It's on that note that we'll take the first 1, 2, 3 minutes break. We are sincerely sorry for the break in transmission. It's due to circumstances we couldn't have expected and prevented. We are indeed apologizing. We'll go back to the program, sir. We'll be starting from the first question, which is on the victory recorded by you in the case instituted against you as a candidate of the APC, the ruling done by the Federal High Court today in Abuja. The question, how are you feeling now that the ruling has been done? Before the ruling was done, were there feelings you were having that I could go this or that way? The legal body now off. How are you feeling, sir?
Well, first of all, let me thank Almighty God for this ruling today. I feel elated, and I believe, rightly too, that I won the primary election that took place on the 19th of February. It gives everybody the necessary hope in the judiciary. They've done a good job. And that means there's hope for everybody in this country. I thank God.
Moji.
Gómìnà, kí n padà sórí ìbéèrè Akin nípa ìdájọ́ ilé ẹjọ́ lórí ẹjọ́ tí ara àwọn tẹ́jọ́ díje fún ipò àti gbé àpótí nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC gbà yín tí wọ́n pè tako ìpà kò yẹ kó jẹ́yìn lẹ́gbẹ́ ó tún padà fà kalẹ̀. Báwo ló ṣe rí lára yín ṣáájú èní pé àtìdìgbò kọ̀ọ̀tún lánàá tọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń wò pé ìdájọ́ sí wọ́n ṣèdájọ́ lé ní tó wá dé ní ti ilé ẹjọ́ fọwọ́ rọ́ ẹ̀sùn tí wọ́n fi kàn yín yẹn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Báwo ló ṣe rí lára yín?
Ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún àṣeyọrí èyí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní gbogbo ìgbà òtítọ́ ló máa ń lékè. Dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn adájọ́ tí wọ́n dúró lórí òótọ́. Ó jẹ́ ká gbà pé orílẹ̀-èdè wa ó máa tẹ̀síwájú lórí òótọ́. Inú mi dùn. Ó dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Abimbola.
Thank you very much, Akin. Still talking about the election and processes leading to the election. As we are getting closer to the D-Day, sir, there have been series of endorsements from different groups, workers, traditional rulers, artisans, towards your second term bid. Now, to what extent do you think this will play out in your favor in the coming election?
Well, let me thank you. The endorsement is a reflection of the way people perceive this administration. And by any standards, I think we've done very well in all areas of our engagement. The endorsement is a reflection of what we've been able to do in the area of health, infrastructure, education, security, agriculture, economy, and things like that. I'm particularly very grateful, and I'm encouraged to want to do more. It's an endorsement that I should continue to steer the ship of this state for another 4 years. Once the people are with you, then, and God is with you, then there's nothing you cannot do. So I thank them. Probably a lot of others have actually not been given the opportunity for endorsement. But I thank God. And I'm very happy, I'm elated, and I'm motivated to want to do more.
Màá fẹ́ kẹ́ dá ìbéèrè yẹn lédè Yorùbá. Ọmọjí.
Bóyá kí gómìnà tún fi eléyìí kún. Ẹgbẹ́ àti ẹ̀dá ìbéèrè Abímbọ́lá ẹ ní àṣeyọrí ìjọba yín tó àwọn oníkọ̀júkọ̀ rí òní ó dàbí pé wọ́n gbárùkù tì yín lọ́tùn lósì. Àwa wù mí kẹ́ ẹ fi eléyìí fún gómìnà tí àwọn bàbá máa gbóríyìn fún yín wọ́n ní gómìnà Oyetola ń ṣọ́wó ná bí ikọ̀ mi àsọ wọ́n ní wọ́n ń ṣọ́wó ná yìí gómìnà ní àwọn ọ̀nà wo ṣé tó wọ́n bá dé ẹ kó ka ẹlẹ́ka eléyìí kó jẹ́ tàwọn òṣẹ́ eléyìí kó jẹ́ ti bá ọ̀nà wo lẹ̀ ń gbà ṣọ́wó yẹn gan-an tó yẹ kí wọ́n máa gbárùkù tì í.
ọlọ́gbọ́n ọmọ ti dá àbẹ̀rẹ̀ yẹn àkọ́kọ́ náà ètò ìṣúná gbọ̀ngbọ́n ó lè gba làákàyè o láti mọ iye tó ní o láti mọ nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe tó o bá ronú láti mọ nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe tó bá kàn jálu ìnáwó wàá ná ní iná àpà ni mi ò ṣe. ẹ̀kejì ni pé mo fi ọ̀rọ̀ owó àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ sí nǹkan tó mú láyà mi jù kí n tó ṣe nǹkan míì máa kọ́ ronú bí àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ti máa gba owó oṣù wọn tí ó dẹ̀ ní jí. tó o bá sọ́wọ́ ná owó pọ̀ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o láti mọ nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú owó ìjọba fi pé ìgbọ́dọ̀ náà iná àpá ni ò dáa. mo dúpẹ́ pé pẹ̀lú nǹkan tí Ọlọ́run ti ní kí n ṣe kí n tó wá sí ìjọba èmi náà ti ní iṣẹ́ àdáni mo ṣe fún ọgbọ̀n ọdún ìyẹn ti fún mi láǹfààní àti mọ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe ètò ìṣúná dáadáa. mo tún kọ́ iléèwé mo dẹ̀ gbà sábì kì í ṣe àgbélẹ̀rọ mo kà dé ojú àlà.
gómìnà ní Yorùbá ìbéèrè àkọ́kọ́ tí mo béèrè mo jí ò tí ì gbé kalẹ̀ dáadáa báwo nínú yín ṣe rí nígbà àwọn èèyàn ṣe ń tì yín lẹ́yìn lọ́tún ló sì pé gómìnà Adégbóyèga Oyètọ́lá ni yóò ṣe ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì.
orí mi wú torí pé sórí tó máa ń ṣe nǹkan tọ́lọ̀ ń dẹ́ ń bùkún ẹ̀ tó bá róyìn ìgbà lọ́dọ̀ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn tó ń ṣe fún náà inú ẹ̀ á dùn láti ṣe sí. tí wọ́n sọ fún mi ni pé kí n máa tẹ̀síwájú pẹ̀lú bí mo ṣe ń ṣe ó dùn máa wọn ó tẹ́ àwọn lọ́rùn. so ó jẹ́ nǹkan tí ó jẹ́ kí inú mi dùn pé mi ò wá sí Ọ̀ṣun lásán mi ò wá ṣèjọba lásán pé gbogbo làkàkà mi lórí pé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun bó ṣe máa gbòòrò sí kí lọ síwájú fẹ́ máa bá wa sí àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ Ọlọ́run náà dẹ̀ mọ̀.
Okay, sir. One question closely related to that has to do with your campaign, sir. Before we move to sectoral analysis of the performance of your administration. The Yorubas will say to remove the knot from the palm kernel is always an Herculean task. The Englishman will say, no good things comes easy. You've moved around the state, crisscrossing the length and breadth. How easy, how Herculean, how challenging has your campaign been?
Well, you see, first of all, the money belongs to the people. And they should not be taken for granted. They gave me their mandate 3.5 years ago. And it's only reasonable that I should go back to them and ask for a fresh mandate for another 4 years. My campaign was very, very intensive. I mean, I went through the entire local government system. I visited 30 local government plus 1 area office. And it was a way of getting the endorsement for my second term and to ask them precisely if indeed there have been things that ordinarily we ought to have done for them that were not done, so that we can look forward to being able to do that in our second term. Very interesting. And again, it was a way of testing my head stability. You know, that I could go through the rigor of the campaign for that period without breaking down. That shows that I'm fully prepared for a second term.
Okay, Abimbola.
Yes, sir. According to Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher, he said, in one of his theories, he said, best men should rule, and the purpose of leadership is the betterment of the state. From all what we have seen, you've been walking this talk since your assumption of office in November 2018. One particular aspect that you are very passionate about is the health sector. Talking about your sectoral achievements in the last 3.5 years, sir, we want us to enumerate what you'll be able to do in the health sector.
Well, thank you. First of all, health is wealth. If I'm not healthy, I won't be here today. So we gave priority to the health of our people. And the first thing we did was to actually revitalize 320 health centers across the state. The intention is to have one health center per ward. We have 332 wards. After that, we tried to rehabilitate the general hospital in Ejibo. And it was very handy, because no sooner we completed that rehabilitation than we had the issue of COVID-19, where we have 127 returnees from Côte d'Ivoire. But for that general hospital, it will have been a different story today. Again, we are constructing 120 beds in Asubiaro. It's almost completed. We are constructing 20 units of doctor's quarters in the same Asubiaro. We have rehabilitated the general hospital in Vetedo. We've just commissioned, through the assistance of SDG, 100 beds of multipurpose hospital in Oshogbo, another 80 beds, mother and child in Eragbiji. We have done the issue of implementing the health insurance scheme, which is supposed to be perhaps the best in Nigeria today, where we take care of the health of everybody, including the vulnerables. And they establish again the issue of drug distribution center, so that at any point in time, you don't visit any of our hospitals without necessary drugs being there, unlike what obtained in the past. So in the area of health sector, I think we've done very, very well. And they're functional. It's not just the infrastructure. Functional health centers across the entire state. So we're doing well.
Moji.
Gómìnà tí a bá ń ṣe àkàlẹ̀ àṣeyọrí ìjọba yín láti bí ọdún mẹ́ta àbọ̀ sẹ́yìn, lára tí àwọn èèyàn láǹfààní àti nǹkan tó ṣe ní méjì ò ní ẹ̀ka ètò ìlera. Tí a bá ní ká bójú wò, àwọn bó níjọba yìí ti láǹfààní àti náwó jáde lẹ́ka ètò ìlera.
Ẹ ṣé, ìlera lọ́rọ̀. tó a mú ọ̀rọ̀ ìlera ní nǹkan tó mú láyà wa jù torí pé téèyàn bá nílera kò ní lè ṣiṣẹ́ tó yẹ kó ṣe. tó gbàgbára tá a dé a kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti máa tún ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé tó wà káàkiri ìpínlẹ̀ wa gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ la lè ṣe lẹ́ǹkan a mú 120 làkọ́ṣe kí èèyàn ní láǹfààní láti lè ní ìdánilójú pé tó ń bá ṣàìsàn díẹ̀ bóyá orí ló ń fọ́ ni inú ló ń dùn ni ó lè kàn kó lé ẹ̀ kó bó ságbàlá kó dẹ̀ rí ìtọ́jú àkọ́ṣe yẹn ìdá tó ń pè ní general hospital tó wà káàkiri àti tún méjì ṣe àwọn tó kù náà ó wà ní pé a máa tún gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe a gbìyànjú láti rí pé òògùn wà nínú àwọn ilé ìwòsàn yìí èpè èèyàn débẹ̀ wọ́n sọ pé kò sí òògùn a tún ṣe nǹkan tá à ń pè ní insurance fún àǹfààní àwọn tí ó bá jẹ́ pé níwọ̀n ní agbára láti lè tọ́jú ara wọn déédéé kò sí ẹnìkan ní ìpínlẹ̀ wa tí ó lè ní ìpèníjà lórí àlàáfíà nítorí pé kò lówó tí ọ̀rọ̀ ti insurance wà fún nìyẹn àwọn ibi tí àwọn dókítà máa gbé tí òfin ní di pé èèyàn dé ilé ìwòsàn ló pé kí ló dé dókítà kò sí lé kò tí ì dé àṣeyẹn náà fún àǹfààní àwọn èèyàn wa gbà pé a gbìyànjú lórí ọ̀rọ̀ àlàáfíà ìlera àwọn èèyàn wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun.
Sir, one of the areas where there were contentions before you came to power in 2018 was the education sector. A lot of talks, left, right, and center, series of policies. In fact, at the debate, the governorship debate led by channels that question came up, and he did make some promises. 3.5 years thereafter, how is the sector?
Well, let me thank you. We had to carry out some reforms in education because of the demand from the people. When the Ministry of Education came up with their report, I realized that I was in need, indeed, to ask some highly respected educationists to review our education policy and come up with recommendations. And they did that, and we believe we went through the normal process. We debated it, in ESCO, and we decided to implement the recommendations. Like the usual single uniform policy, there was a lot of agitation from everybody, including the security agencies, that it seemed to encourage cultism. They don't know which of the pupils has committed one crime or the other, because they all wear the same uniform. The tailors are complaining that we are taking the job off them. The textile sellers are complaining. And it's actually not sustainable anyway, given the resources of the state. So we have to review it. The same thing with the issue of the education policy. The minimum education policy national is 6334 all over the country. Ours then was 4354. Because of that, we didn't have opportunity for support from UNICEF. Again, the issue of the classification of schools, where some boys were moved to Baptist Girls High School, some girls were moved to St. Charles. It created so much problem, protest and everything. So we'll look at it again, using the recommendation of the committee we set up, headed by a very renowned educationist, Professor Oyetola. The other one is the issue of school name change. I attended Ifolua Grammar School, and I'm proud of it. And I think everybody has a strong affinity for his or her school. Elisha Grams, Osho Grams, when the name was changed, some of them, the old students, came pleading with the former administration. Again, some even took us to court. And I asked myself, what is in the name? Why would I allow them to continue to use their name? Does that affect the quality of education? No. Does that add more to the financial burden? No. So, it's like any parent deciding to name his own child. You allow the parent to have his way. I don't see much of a problem with it. And it has actually helped because it has encouraged all students to continue to participate in the running of the school. They are more committed. You can't believe it, within that little time, more than, conservatively, not more than 1 billion or more have been injected by the old students to support government in doing a few things in their respective schools. So it's a positive development. and it's not meant to do anything other than to support and encourage participation by all the stakeholders in education.
gómìnà á wù mí kí ẹ tún jẹ́ káwọn ará ilé.
Àkọ́kọ́ aṣọ iléèwé pé gbogbo ọmọ tó bá wá tó lọ iléèwé nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun láti máa wọ aṣọ kan náà tó jẹ́ pé ní obìnrin kan ló wà ń bẹ̀ tí akọkùnrin lọ bá obìnrin tàbí obìnrin lọ ọkùnrin ó di ìkùnsínú. Ẹ̀kẹrin ni pé orúkọ tí olúkálùkù ń jẹ́ níléèwé orúkọ tí wọ́n ń sọ àwọn iléèwé yẹn àpadà ó wá bí àwọn èèyàn nú gan torí pé ó dàbí pé ní ètò ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ kọ́ gbogbo àlá máa ń fẹ́ wọ́n mọ̀ pé iléèwé ló lọ bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ní unilag mo ti ṣe tán àwọn tí mo mọ̀ ń gbà tájọ wà kékeré tájọ ṣe iléèwé kékeré la mọ́ra jù lónìí so ó bí àwọn èèyàn nú àwọn kan ti gbé wa lọ sí ilé ẹjọ́ nígbà tí mo wá gbọ́ gbogbo nígbà tí mo di gómìnà àkọ́kọ́ náà tí a bá sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ bí o ṣe ṣe nǹkan gbà mí wàá tún rò ó lè jẹ́ ó bá gbà mú gbà yẹn ó lè má gbàgbà mú tó bá tún yá ẹ̀ tún jọ ẹ̀ tún wò ó ní tí gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń sọ pé a máa jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn lẹ́nu nígbà ṣe ń ṣèjọba tó wà fún nìyẹn. àwa agbégbìmọ̀ jáde àwọn tó jẹ́ pé ní pòfẹ́sọ̀ tó mọ̀ ń pa ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wọ́n bá yẹ̀ wò wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé àwọn kankan wà tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó pé ká ṣàtúnṣe ní tó fa gbogbo àtúnṣe tí a ṣe a lè rí pé ó ti ṣe èso rere torí pé ìmú àwọn tó jáde nínú iléèwé yẹn wọ́n ti fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú wa láti ṣe àwọn nǹkan nínú jẹ́ pé ní àwa ìjọba gan olówó ẹ̀ wọ́n ti tún skul ṣe fúnra wọn wọ́n ra aṣọ iléèwé fáwọn ọmọ wọn inú wọn dùn wọ́n dẹ̀ gbogbo wọn ṣe dáadáa bó ṣe wà tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. As a rider to the question you just answered,
yeah.
I would like you to talk on the issue of teachers' recruitment, one. Then two, your administration has always been referred to as a workers-friendly one. The last time you were on this particular set, I asked you, what magic are you doing that you will pay workers' salary as and when due? The pensioners are getting their pensions always. What have you been doing that is making this happen?
Well, thank you. First of all, my background is assisting a lot. Like I mentioned, I spent about 30 years of my experience in the private sector, and particularly in the area of finance. So I know the rudiments of finance. And it's always good to have opportunity to have that experience of private sector and public sector. You can marry the two and see the synergy between the two. You must, of course, manage your cash flow. You must define your priority. You must plan the expenditure. You cannot be spending money you don't have. So you plan and ensure that whatever you are doing is in line with your resources. But one thing I've done, as a matter of fact, is that I've given priority to the payment of workers' salary and pension. It's a first-line charge. Anywhere I am in any part of the world, when it is 25th of the month, I will call up to find out if the payroll is ready for me to sign. So, because I realize that if you want to get the best from the workers, they must get their pay. We can't be talking of productivity. How do you encourage productivity for people that have not earned their pay? You can't motivate them to want to put in the best. So I think it's not magic. There's nothing magic about it. It's a question of applying your experience to the reality on ground. So it's
The
not
teachers-
difficult for me. Teachers recruitment, let me tell you, we have a lot of gap in the area of teachers recruitment. My intention originally was to recruit as many as 6,000. But you see, I try to ensure that I try to do whatever that would make me to meet my applications. What is the point recruiting 3,000 teachers and you realize you're unable to pay them? So what we have done is we've done the normal process of recruitment, shortlisted, did examination, did everything. But we're going to be taking them in batch by batch. We've just taken in 1,000. I believe by the grace of God, the second time, we'll do more because there's still a lot of gap in terms of teacher-student ratio. We're going to recruit more teachers for our schools. But you don't recruit and realize that you can't pay them subsequently. It will be nice. I don't do it.
Okay, sir. Closely related to the last question. One, the payment of workers. You must have had it. Because of people having this fear and apprehension that the second term of office may not be as smooth as it is now for workers in terms of payment of salaries, and maybe for pensioners too. I want you to react to that.
Yeah.
And two,
Yeah.
when it comes to finances, we have Bola started. You met some debt on grant, definitely. You've been doing a number of projects across the local governments, senatorial districts, federal constituencies in the state. The question is, how much has your administration borrowed to finance some of these projects and meet the needs of workers and pensioners?
Well, let me say this. I want to allay the fears of a very responsible workers that as long as I remain the governor of the state, your salary will be guaranteed. You must be creative enough to look at opportunities and define again your priority. I say one of my major priorities as the issue of payment of salary and pension. Any other thing can follow later. So that's my priority. It's like you must have your breakfast. So you make sure your breakfast is there. You can't be talking of fasting unless you're fasting anyway. So payment of salary of teachers becomes my priority. They should stop comparing notes. I believe so much in God. And I don't make promises I cannot fulfill. So your salary is guaranteed as long as you remain the governor of the state. People are bringing in sometimes politics into it because they don't have any other thing to campaign about. If it's second time, you won't pay. If I've been paying the salary consistently for 3.5 years, I mean, when it comes to the issue of probability, you look at the past and then project to the future. So, what magic have I been using that I will not still use, if you call it magic anyway, in second term? So I don't see much of a problem with that at all. Yes, let me say this. Debt is not really a bad thing. I mean, if you must talk about economic development, economic growth, you need to borrow. But what is important is your borrowing must be tailored towards capital projects. You don't borrow for recurrent expenditure that will not impact seriously on the people. I've not added to the level of borrowing. Let me say this. What I've done differently is to, again, define my priority. Block leakages, we've increased the IGR reasonably, not necessarily not necessarily imposing additional burden on the people, but look at the collection process and look at leakages and, ensure you don't allow that to happen. Again, I developed a concept that I call alternative project fund approach. What that means is that I collaborate with people that have the means, contractors that have the means to deliver on my infrastructure. And we have an understanding that I will pay within my own, there's a flexibility of payment that will not affect my applications. So I'm delivering on infrastructure, I'm not borrowing. And the beauty of that is the fact that no contractor can take my money away because he will be using his money to do my job. So the question of abandoned project cannot come up in my own time because you won't take my money and go away. You can only take your own money and go away, and that's it. You won't collect anything. So it's a way of, it's a control mechanism, and it's been working out for me. I delivered Olaya. The naysayer says it will be an abandoned project, but I wonder if they're applying the same Olaya now. It means they should be, so it's creativity. You cannot be lamenting. I mean, I knew exactly where we are, one way or the other. So the moment I decided to run, I have prepared my mind to look at things differently and plan my own projects in a way that would not affect my obligations. And it's been like that. And you must be able to build up trust. People must trust you. Contractors must trust you. In fact, let me tell you, the moment we started that and they saw the success, most contractors were just coming back to say they are ready to use their money. They are running after me now, for me to give them the opportunity. And I think it's been a wonderful thing. And I've seen a few of the states, my colleagues in some other states, talking to me about it and applying the same thing in their states.
How mi kò fún láyè kí gómìnà dá ìbéèrè yẹn ní ẹyọ kọ̀ọ̀kan torí bíi mẹ́ta ni wọ́n dá nǹkan báyìí. Gómìnà kò hùn látàárọ̀. Ó lè fẹ́ jọ bí òwe ẹ̀foríjì mi. Yorùbá ní pé tí iná bá jó ni ibi tó ti kan yín mi gbọ̀ngbọ̀n ní ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìbéèrè. Ọ̀pọ̀ ló ń sọ wípé sáà yín àkọ́kọ́ wọn ni ẹ fi ń fa àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ lójúmọ́ra ni bí a kì í ṣe béèrè ní òyìnbó ní sáà kejì á gbà pé Ọlọ́run ni ọ̀gá. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀yin ò tí ì sọ pé ń tòótọ́ ẹ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ wàá gbà pé Ọlọ́run lọ̀gá. Á wà nǹkan gbogbo ilé ó gbọ́ wípé àhesọ ọ̀rọ̀ ni ẹ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní áfúsá ń padà bọ̀ ní sáà kejì yín.
Jẹ́ kó sọ nǹkan fún mi. Àkọ́kọ́ náà áfúsá ni bàbá áfúsá wà ń bí ó ti lọ lé ọkọ. Wọ́n di ẹ̀sọ́ wípé wọ́n ló ti bíbejì. Ṣé rí òṣìṣẹ́ ṣe pàtàkì sí mi gan? Màá dẹ̀ tún nǹkan kan díẹ̀ lẹ́nu. Nígbà tí àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ kan náà àwọn èèyàn yín ni wọ́n kọ́ fún mi lókun lọ́rùn pé ó yẹ kẹ́ díje. Nígbà tí mo fẹ́ díje pé àwọn ti wo sùn gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ní àwọn fẹ́ jáde, èmi nìkan làwọn ní ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé pé mo lè tukọ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Wọ́n dẹ̀ dúró tì mí tọkàntọkàn. Mi ìwà lè di gómìnà tán kí n gbàgbé wọn. Mo rí òṣìṣẹ́ bíi àjọ ń ṣèjọba, àdẹ̀jọ́ ń ṣe ni. Nígbà tí wọ́n tún sọ pé sáà kejì o àwọn ti fọwọ́ sí lánàá, orí mi wú. So ọkàn mi balẹ̀ pẹ̀lú yẹn, kò sí àní-àní, ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀. Gómìnà yín ni, èmi náà òṣìṣẹ́ lèmi náà. mo dẹ̀ ti láǹfààní àti gbàyàn síṣẹ́ níbi iṣẹ́ mi mo ń san owó wọn déédéé bí mo ṣe wà bí tó kí wá lóde tí màá débí tí mi dé san owó òṣìṣẹ́ tí mi náà bá tó awuyewuye yẹn òṣèlú ni òṣèlú bíi lágbára díẹ̀ òṣèlú ni.
gómìnà eléyìí tí ó dàbí rẹ̀ ọ̀pọ̀ ló gbàgbọ́ wípé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun tó tọ́ wọ́n ní ìpínlẹ̀ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ọba ni àwọn kan sọ pé kò sí ìjọba náà tí yóò kó iyán àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tí yóò fi owó èbò tí kò ní pa àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ mi lára ìfẹ́ tí ẹni sáwà òṣìṣẹ́ tẹ̀ fi ń sanwó wa déédéé àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ wo ló ti pa lára nínú ìṣèjọba. kò sí.
rárá.
olúwa ṣe gómìnà lórí ti ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn olùkọ́ ẹ sọ lóyìnbó ẹ ní 6,000 ni lẹ́ni lọ́kàn láti gbà ìdí tí ẹ fi tí ìgbẹ́ 6,000 yẹn pé àwọn ará ilé fẹ́ gbọ́ ní Yorùbá.
ok èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kí omi pọ̀ ju ọkà lọ bí ọwọ́ ikú bá tẹ̀ ṣe mọ́ obìnrin orí tí n bá ní 6,000 ní fẹ́ gbà lẹ́ẹ̀kan màá gbàtẹ́wọ́ wọn á pariwo wọn á jó tó bá di ìparí oṣù tí mo bá kọ̀ láti má san owó wọn kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ á di èébú á di wàhálà ìtẹ̀yìn máa ń ṣe ni pé mo rí pé 1,000 la lè ṣe tí a bá fi kún owó oṣù tá à ń san lóṣooṣù kò ní pa wá lára mo dẹ̀ ti tún wò ó sùn pé tí lágbára Ọlọ́run ní sáà kejì a tún wo bá ṣe máa ṣe ní 1,000 kọ̀ọ̀kan tí a fi rí 6,000 yẹn ṣe ṣùgbọ́n èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ máa ronú pẹ̀lú nǹkan tó ń ṣe tó ní dání tó bá jàlúgbì ìjà ló máa kẹ́yìn ẹ̀ wọ́n ẹni tó bá gbà ó pàtẹ́wọ́ fún ẹ lẹ́nu tó san owó oṣù ẹ̀ lóyún ní kínní ó di wàhálà ẹ bá dẹ̀ wo sùn bí àwa pẹ̀lú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ṣe ń ṣe ẹ tí ì rí gbà kan tí òṣìṣẹ́ dáṣẹ́lẹ̀ torí pé èmi náà ń ṣe déédéé pẹ̀lú wọn ni ní tó máa jẹ́ kó mẹ́rẹ̀ àfi kí èmi náà yàgò fún tí ò jẹ́ kí n fi èmi ò jẹ́ kí n ṣàdéhùn wọn alágbádá ló máa ń pè mí tẹ́ mọ́ èmi ò ń ṣàdéhùn tí ìbá nílé síkà wọ́n mọ̀ mí pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ ara máa bá ètò lọ á débi ìlérí lágbára Ọlọ́run orúkọ yìí ò ń ṣe lásán ètò Ọlọ́run ni.
ẹ ṣe gómìnà èrò lọ́gbọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ gbẹ̀gì èèyàn sì gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ alágbára mami òkè ní jẹ́
bàbá ọ̀lẹ́.
Abímbọ́lá Babátúndé next question.
Okay, thank you very much. Sir, when you were talking the other time, you spoke about the alternative project funding that made the iconic Olaiya flyover possible.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that there were hues and cries when you wanted to embark on the project. There are so many other projects ongoing. Some you finished some. We want you to tell us what you've been able to do on construction of roads, the ones you've done, and the ones that you are planning to do.
Well, I don't know where to start from, but let me say this. You can't talk of economic growth without adequate infrastructure. So it's important. It must be priority to infrastructure. So far, we've constructed no less than 500 kilometers of roads across the entire state. And I've not borrowed. I mean, let's put it that way. Some we've inherited from the previous administration. We're still doing so. We've put some money into it. We're still expecting more money because they are federal government roads. Once they're able to give us more money, we'll continue with it. Like the Monga Koda, we met it at 29%. We moved it to about 40-something% now. We're still talking to Minister of Works to give us some money. The same thing with Old Garage to Ilaudo. That's still ongoing. Then the ring road. I've actually constructed a single 2-lane actually, but so that to allow motorists to make use of the road for now. Well, if I have the resources, I move to the other side to complete the road. I've done apart from the Olanya flyover, Alekuwodo ring roads, I've done all of that. Ede Okegada to Ejigbo has been done. Ejigbo Tashi Road has been done. Kelebe Deogungun to Ragwidi has been completed. Adagbajo has been completed. Moro Yakoyo has been completed. Bongan Tashi Road has been completed. Tashi Road has been completed. Ila Arodo is under construction. Iwo Oshogbo Road is to be awarded in time from now. So it's actually at the final stage of being awarded. I can't remember now, but it's not less than 500 kilometers of road. In addition to that, we have to open up the rural areas, the rural roads. We constructed close to about 1,000 rural roads to allow farmers to have access to the farms and to be able to bring in their products to the market. So infrastructure is one of the best that we have done.
Gómìnà, pẹ̀lú àlàyé tí ẹ ṣe nípa ìpèsè ohun amúlùdùn ní pàtàkì jùlọ àkànṣe àtúnṣe ojú pópó. Àwọn ilé tí ẹ ti láǹfààní àti ṣe torí mo ti gbọ́ tẹ́ sọ níbì kan kò pẹ́ jù pé àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ àtúnṣe ojú pópó nítorí àti mú ìdàgbàsókè bá ètò ọrọ̀ ajé ni. Kí n béèrè pé ìwọ̀nba ilé tí ẹ ti láǹfààní àti ṣe yẹn tí ẹ tún lè fẹ́ ṣe abala wo ló ti ṣokùnfà ìdàgbàsókè ètò ọrọ̀ ajé ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun?
Ó pọ̀.
Ẹ ṣáwọ̀.
Àkọ́kọ́ náà pé àwọn èèyàn ti ń ráàyè wá sí ibi iṣẹ́. Àwọn tó ń tajà ń lè gbé mọ́tò wọn káàkiri, wọ́n lọ rajà, wọ́n gba ọ̀nà yìí. Ó kọ́ ti ṣe fàkó pé ọrọ̀ ajé wa máa gbẹ pẹ́ẹ́lí sí i. Èkejì, kò sẹ́ni tí ó fẹ́ wá ṣe òwò lọ́dọ̀ yín tó wáyé pé kíní kò ní ní àǹfààní pé ọ̀nà yín dáa. Bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí, àti ní àwọn tó ti wá da iléeṣẹ́ lẹ̀ ní Dagbolu, aláwọn tó ti da iléeṣẹ́ lẹ̀ ní ìtàǹpẹ̀ ní free trade zone ní area Ẹdẹ, àti ní ó kéré tá àti ní àní àti ní bíi 15 àwọn iléeṣẹ́ tó ti wá síbí. Torí pé kò sí àǹfààní fún àwọn èèyàn láti dáṣẹ́ rẹ̀ sílẹ̀ tí wọ́n bá rí i pé àti tẹ̀ rí nǹkan wọn kó kúrò ó máa jẹ́ wàhálà. So ó pọ̀ díẹ̀ a lè máa sọ lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan.
Sir, like you see, when hunger and starvation is removed from the issue of poverty,
Yeah.
they say the rest is manageable. Let's look at the intervention of your administration in the agricultural sector. How has it been?
Well, it's been quite okay, although there's a lot of room for improvement. This state is an agrarian state, so to that extent, agriculture should be one of the main pillars of administration. We've done a few things in the area of agriculture. We've supported farmers in different aspects of their farming. We try to reintroduce our prominence in cocoa production. We've supplied more than 2 million highly maturing and disease-resistant hybrid cocoa, because we used to be perhaps one of the first 3 major producers of cocoa in the past. So we want to bring that back. We supported youths who are interested in farming. We've actually again established a farm settlement, F3 in Ile-Ife, to encourage our youth. Actually, we encourage them to come and take plots free, and we've been supplying them with high-yielding seeds. We've graded cocoa 75,000 tons or so, and we made about 550 million from the grading itself alone. We supported cashew nut farmers, and quite a number of those things we've done, with the different types of farmers. Again, we try to encourage them to be registered so as to be able to know the level of interventions that they would need. I want to believe that we'll do more, in our second term than we've done now. Mechanized farming is the order of the day. Peasant farming or subsistence farming is just merely trying to take care of the family. We're looking forward to mechanized farmers, give them land, give them support so that we can turn around the economy, the agric economy of our state. So we'd like to do more in the second time that we've done now.
In terms of intervention from outside the state to help what you are doing in the agricultural
sector. I must commend the CBN. They've been very supportive. They've given a lot of loans to our farmers in different areas: cocoa, cashew nut, rice, fish farming, and things like that. So we've gotten some level of collaboration with the CBN.
Gómìnà lẹ́ka iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ àwọn aráalé fẹ́ mọ̀ kí ni ìyànjú ìjọba yín láti rí i pé oúnjẹ sùn lúbọ̀.
Wẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ náà ẹni tó jókòó bí ọmọ àgbẹ̀ ni inú mi dẹ́ dùn pé mo jẹ́ ọmọ àgbẹ̀ torí pé oko la àwọn àti àjẹ bọ́tà pé àwọn kan oko la gbé dàgbà tó àgbẹ̀ ṣe pàtàkì sí wa. A ti gbìyànjú láti ran àwọn àgbẹ̀ wa lọ́wọ́ lọ́nà tó pọ̀. Irú láyé ìgbà kan kòkó ló máa ń jẹ́ nǹkan tí ó jẹ́ ọrọ̀ ajé wa jù ní ta bá ń sọ àwọn nǹkan tó lè mú owó wọlé fún ìjọba kòkó ni. Ṣùgbọ́n ìfàsẹ́yìn ti wà lórí kòkó fún ọjọ́ díẹ̀. Ètò táwa ṣe ni pé mílíọ̀nù 2 àwọn èso tó máa tètè jẹ́ kí kòkó tètè yọ torí kòkó tó ń gbìn láyé ìjọun kòkó ọdún 4, 5, 6 ló pọ̀ jù. Nísìnyí àwọn kòkó kan wà tó pé nínú lẹ́yìn àárín oṣù 15 sí ọdún 2 wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí so. A ti gbìyànjú láti fún àwọn àgbẹ̀ ní àwọn èso tó dáa bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kí wọ́n lè rí nǹkan tó jọjú mú jáde nù iṣẹ́ ọ̀gbìn wọn. Gbogbo àwọn míì tí wọ́n tún ṣe iṣẹ́ ọ̀gbìn láti fún ní àǹfààní àtọmọdé àtàgbà. Kò tẹ́ mi lọ́rùn tó bí mo ṣe fẹ́. Mo dẹ̀ ń gbìyànjú pé lágbára Ọlọ́run ní sáà kejì Ọlọ́run yọ̀ǹda ẹ̀ fún mi. A ṣe dáadáa ju bá a ṣe lọ lórí ọ̀gbìn lọ́tẹ̀.
We have about 10-12 minutes to go on the program. Abimbola Babatunde, likely to be the final or last question from you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Osun State is known to be the most peaceful state in the country.
Yeah.
What have you been doing to maintain the peaceful atmosphere in the state, and with the election that is approaching, a peace agreement was signed yesterday. What do you have to say on that, and what do you wish to do more to make lives more secured in the state?
Well, thank you. First of all, the purpose of any government is security and welfare of the people. So those two key things are particularly very important. In the area of security, first of all, I must say God has been on our side, regardless. Let's first of all give praise to God for keeping us safe. But in addition to that, we decided to support, we've always been supporting anyway, security agencies to be able to discharge their responsibility to our state. Support police, support all the other, agencies of government. But aside from that, we set up the joint task force. Their major responsibility is to tackle incidents of kidnapping, armed robbery, banditry, and they've been doing very well. Again, we collaborated with our sister states in the southwest to launch the Southwest Network Security called Amatekun, and they are doing pretty well, even though they have their limitation in terms of not having opportunity to carry arms and things like that. Then we try to integrate our own security architecture with the hunters. Before I came in here, I've just gave hunters 62 motorcycles. Because you see, the traditional, conventional security agencies, if they are pursuing criminals, the moment the criminals enter the forest, that's the end of the job. Whereas the hunters' normal terrain is the forest. So you must find a way of integrating the two to be able to deal with security. So the moment there's any kidnapping anywhere, the police will invite the hunters and Amatekun, they all pursue. When they get to the forest is their normal terrain. So they know how to navigate their way, and they've been very effective. Out for state police, if the law will allow it, because we tend to centralize too much on the developed things, and that's the essence of even the physical responsibility of federalism that they're talking about. There's no reason why in the past we used to have local police, and the local police people then, I used to have an uncle that I stay with. They were deployed to their environment. They know the terrain. Even sometimes they know those boys who are bad boys. So you can't be elsewhere other than your area and want to know the topography of the area. So I think with what we have done and government on our side, we've been able to manage the security of the state. I'm proud to say that this state remains the most fruitful state in Nigeria. It cannot be contested. It is, but I understand that.
Gómìnà Olúwaṣeun adúpẹ́ pé ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun kò sí ẹgbẹ́ ní ẹgbẹ́ lọ́hùn. Ó dẹ̀ pé ẹ̀ka ètò ààbò orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà kò sí àǹfìsàbí àwọn sọ pé ètò ààbò orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ó ṣapá kan jọ̀mọ́. Ṣùgbọ́n lọ́pọ̀ ìgbà tí wọ́n bá ti ń gbọ́ pé nǹkan kan ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tó wà lẹ́kùn oòrùn gúúsù orílẹ̀-èdè tí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun náà jẹ́ ọ̀kan, ọwọ́jà àwọn arábí ti débí àfi kí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ó múra. Kí ni ìjọba yín ṣe láti jẹ́ pé a wà ní ìgbáradì láàárọ̀ lọ́sàn-án lálẹ́ láti pé ìfẹsẹ̀rin ilé ètò ààbò ó tún dúró sí?
Wẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ náà à ń gbàdúrà. Ẹ̀ẹ̀kejì à ń rú àwọn tá à ń lò Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn ní o, àwọn ọlọ́pàá ni à ń ró wọn lágbára láti ní nǹkan tí wọ́n á lè lò tí ìpèníjà bá dé lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ààbò. Mo rò pé pẹ̀lú nǹkan tá kìtìyàn tá à ń ṣe a máa tún gbàyàn sí ní Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn, àwọn tá a gbà kéré díẹ̀, bọ̀ kí ni ó jẹ́ ń sọ pé ó kéré díẹ̀ ni pé ìpínlẹ̀ wa gbòòrò ju pé kí ó jẹ́ àwọn péréte tá a gbà ló máa fẹ̀ sí káàkiri. Ṣùgbọ́n tèmi máa ń ṣe ni pé mi ì fẹ́ gbàyàn tí ì bá rí owó láti san. Mi ì fẹ́ gba ẹnìkan tó máa ń pé kò jẹ́ lówó kò lè ṣiṣẹ́ mi, kí ló dé òsanwó oṣù mi. So ìyẹn ni òṣùwọ̀n láti gbàyàn sí torí pé ìpèníjà yẹn wà. Dẹ̀ wọ́n ní ká fọwọ́ sí ọ̀rọ̀ pé kò ní sí wàhálà. Àkọ́kọ́ náà èmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹnìkan tó bá tí wọ́n bá rò pé èèyàn ní ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé nù pé kó má ṣe jàgídíjàgan, èmi ni alákọ̀ọ́kọ́. Bí ó ń ṣe nìkan tó ṣe jàgídíjàgan, tẹ́ bá wo gbogbo ìgbà tí mò ń polongo ìbò káàkiri ẹ lè rí dàrúdàpọ̀ kankan nínú gbogbo tí mo ṣe. Àwọn yòókù ní ká bẹ̀, ẹ lè sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ ṣèjọba lé àwọn èèyàn lórí, kẹ́ máa yọ àdá, kẹ́ máa yọ ọ̀bẹ tiwọn. Ọlọ́run kò fẹ́. So ẹ jẹ́ kí á jẹ́ kí ọ̀rọ̀ ìdìbò tó ń bọ̀ kó lọ wọ́ọ́rọ́. Kò sí ìjà láàrin pàǹdíje. Ẹni tọ́lọ̀ ń bá fẹ́ kó débẹ̀ ló máa débẹ̀. Kò sí pé ẹni tó bá pa ń sìn ẹ̀jẹ̀ ò ní tán lórí ẹ. Yóò dórí ọmọ ẹ gan tó bá ń ṣe wàhálà tó lọ pààyàn torí pé ó fẹ́ díje tàbí ó fẹ́ di gómìnà tàbí ó fẹ́ di sẹ́nítọ̀ anything tó bá fẹ́ dà. ẹ jẹ́ ká níbẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run gbogbo ohun tá a bá fẹ́ ṣe ìbẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run ni ó ṣe pàtàkì jù ká dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé àǹfààní àwọn èèyàn wa ni kí a má jẹ́ kí wàhálà kankan ṣẹlẹ̀ mo rọ̀ wá ìbò tó ń bọ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run kò ní sí ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀ kankan à á ṣe àlọ́wọ́rọ́ èmi Adébóyèga Isiaka Oyetola dédé máa jẹ gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun.
Sir, where you look at your administration in the past 3.5 years,
Yeah.
no matter how bright and sunny the days, there will always be that blue spots in the sky. Life itself is not a bed of roses. Even if it were to be, roses also have thorns. What will you say precisely have been the challenges faced by your administration in this past 3.5 years? That's one, sir.
Yeah.
Secondly, projecting into your second term of office, what will you want to do differently?
Well, thank you very much. The challenge, positive fund. I have a lot of programs. But I'm constrained by positive fund. But like I said, I can't be lamenting. So I've just taken up the challenge and navigate my way through. So positive fund is a major constraint to what ordinarily I would have loved to do. I've not been able to do. But I'm trusting God that it will improve subsequently. My priorities of what do I want to do, or what have I done, what I would have done to do differently. I think, by and large, I've taken my time to follow all the things I've said I would do if I became the governor. That I will run an all-inclusive, participative governance, and I've done so. I've carried the people along with me, and that the welfare and security of the people remain the major purpose of government. I've been supporting the vulnerables every month with food support. They call it daily food, to the tune of catering for about 30,000 vulnerables every month. I started that since April last year, and it's still running, and I will continue by the grace of God to do that. So I'm trusting God that the next tenure will be better than the first. We'll have resources to really play around with, and then we can continue with our developmental agenda. I have a lot of things that I want to do for the state. If you look at even the 3.5 years, we actually spent, seriously speaking, about 2 years in governance. The first thing is litigation. The normal process, even when people lose, they are not good losers. You don't have good losers. You have bad losers. But trusting God that we won't have cause to go there at this time around. That took about 8 months. Then the COVID-19 pandemic took another 1 year. So if you look at it, the time we have for governance really is about 2 years. So I want to pray to Almighty God to give me 4 straight years to be able to do so much for this state. I'm passionate about the state. It's my state. I have no other place I can call my own. I was born here. I schooled here. So we have our expectations. We have projections as to where we want the state to be in another 4 years by the grace of God.
Gómìnà, ẹ̀yin àgbà ní sọ́mọ́ olè funfun títí kó má sí dúdú kankan bí rẹ̀ pé tí ẹ bá ń ṣàlàkalẹ̀ àwọn àṣeyọrí yín àkàkà tán ni. Síbẹ̀ kí ni tó dàbí ìpèníjà láàrin ọdún 3 àbọ̀ tẹ́ ti lò lórí àlééfà. Èkejì ni pé bí ẹ ṣe ń múra fún sáà kejì lọ́fíìsì, kí ni tẹ́ pé tẹ́ bá bojú ẹ̀yìn tẹ́ mọ̀ pé ẹ̀ tí láǹfààní àti ṣe tó wà lára ń tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe.
Well, àkọ́kọ́ náà ìpèníjà tó wà ní pé owó àrà tá a fẹ́ dá lórí nǹkan ló bá ń sọ àrà bá dá owó jẹ owó àpèkánú kó. You want to do so much, but you are constrained by positive fund.
Ní Yorùbá gómìnà.
Okay, sorry. A fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan ribiribi tó pọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n owó ó já wa ń tàn mọ́ díẹ̀ ìyẹn gan jẹ́ nǹkan tó kọ́ jẹ́ ìpèníjà tí ò bá sí yẹn gbogbo ohun tí mo ṣe ń sìn náà ni ó yẹ kí n máa ṣe mi ì rí nǹkan tí mo ṣe ń sìn tí ò yẹ kí n tún máa ṣe lọ tí n bá tún padà sí gómìnà ní sáà kejì torí pé mo rí àpẹẹrẹ pé ọ̀nà tí Ọlọ́run ní ká tọ̀ là ń tọ̀ ó dẹ̀ ń ṣe èso rere gbogbo tí mo ṣe pátá àtúnṣe màá mójútó ètò nǹkan ọ̀gbìn dáadáa ju bí mo ṣe mójútó lọ ètò ààbò náà kò gbọdọ̀ mẹ́hẹ̀ gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń ṣe ṣá irú ti àwọn ọmọ wa tó wà níléèwé oúnjẹ ọ̀fẹ́ wọn a máa lọ déédéé oúnjẹ tí mo fún àwọn aráàlú jẹ a máa lọ déédéé torí pé ní tí mo fi lè sọ pé ọ̀nà wà ní ìjọba nìyẹn gbogbo èèyàn kọ́ ló máa rin ọ̀nà ẹni tí ò bá ní mọ́tò lè máa rin ọ̀nà ṣùgbọ́n ẹni tí ò bá ti rin ọ̀nà ó láti láǹfààní àti mọ̀ pé ìjọba wà fóun àwọn táwọn fún lóúnjẹ kì í ṣe àwọn ẹbí wa kì í ṣe àwọn bí ẹni tó bá mi ṣiṣẹ́ nǹkan tí ìtàn pé báǹkì àgbáyé gbélẹ̀ tí wọ́n ti sọ àwọn tí ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó ibẹ̀ láti ń kọ orúkọ jáde táwọn dẹ̀ ń pín oúnjẹ fún wọn ó dẹ̀ rìn ilẹ̀ gan inú mi tó pé mo rí ṣe torí ó wà lọ́kàn mi èyí tá a tún máa ṣe lágbára Ọlọ́run ìtọ́jú àwọn opó àti ìtọ́jú àwọn àgbà ìtọ́jú ẹ̀yin obìnrin náà wà nú ẹ̀ àtọkùnrin náà.
gómìnà kọrin Ebenezer Obey àràǹbádá owó òjẹ́ owó àpèkánukò ẹ tiẹ̀ sọ débì kan nígbà tí Ebenezer Obey ń kọrin ọlájò ló ń rè wọn á wálé ẹ̀yin ti wà nílé
ilé ni mo wà
yóò máa ju yín ṣe ìlú le kò sówó lóde ẹnìkan kọ bí ó ń súnmọ́ 50 ọdún wọn lọkùnrin ń kígbe obìnrin ń kígbe gbogbo ayé ló ń kígbe owó nínú kòsíkòsí náà lẹ ti ṣe gbogbo ń tẹ kálẹ̀ àwọn aráàlú wọn mọ rírì yín fẹ́ gba ìpè ṣùgbọ́n a fún àwọn èèyàn láǹfààní láti fi àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ ránṣẹ́ sí wa ó pọ̀ díẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n a kó wọn papọ̀ lábala ẹni àkọ́kọ́ tí a rí ló jábọ̀ yín ó wá láti Etí Ọ̀nì bóyá ní Ìjẹ̀ṣà ó pe orúkọ rẹ̀ ní Adékọ́lá ó ní gbogbo àwọn ìrírí tẹ̀ ń ṣe tẹ́ ẹ̀ múṣẹ ó ló bá orúkọ yín ìlérí Olúwa àdúrà ló ń gbà bí ìlérí Olúwa yóò túbọ̀ máa ṣe nínú ààrẹ yẹn àwọn tán ṣerú àdúrà bẹ́ẹ̀ pọ̀ díẹ̀ nìkan látọ̀fà nìkan láti ilé olójì ẹnìkan láti fẹ́fẹ́fẹ́ ẹlòmíràn náà kò fi ibi tó ti fàtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ ránṣẹ́ sí wa àdúrà ló náà ṣe ní ìmọ̀ bóyá ọba lẹni tó fi lé ìránṣẹ́ torí wọn àforúkọ sí tàbọ̀ ọmọ ọba ó ní gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ ti sọ lórí ètò ilé ó lè ti ẹ̀fẹ́nu kan àwọn ọba gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ ṣe fún wọn nígbà tẹ́ ń polongo gbogbo àfi wọn lẹ́dẹ́ àwọn náà dìde pé àwọn fọwọ́ sí pé kẹ́tẹ̀síwájú ó ní bó lè yín àti àwọn ọba ń bó lè dì sí nínú ìjọba yìí.
ọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́badé mo ṣe kábíyèsí torí pé àwọn ọba ní aṣojú Elédùmarè lórí ilẹ̀ ayé ẹni tí Yorùbá fi tọ́ba ṣe ó ti nílẹ̀ Yorùbá o tí Yorùbá fi tọ́ba ṣe ó ti ní wàhálà fún rẹ̀ òkè orí adé ẹ̀ṣẹ́ ẹ̀kú àdóòtì ìgbà tí mo dẹ̀ ti wà níjọba yìí náà gbogbo nǹkan tó yẹ kí ó máa jẹ́ àǹfààní àkọ́kọ́ náà fún odidi ọdún 8 mo wà níjọba tó kọjá tó mo mọ̀ pé wọ́n dẹ̀ ń sọ mọ́rọ̀ wọn ní àǹfààní àti ṣèpàdé kankan ìgbà tí mo di gómìnà mo ní ìpàdé yìí kí ló dé tẹ̀ ẹ̀ mọ́ ṣe mọ́ ó yá ẹ̀ mọ́ ṣe inú wọn dẹ̀ dùn sí èmi ní gómìnà àkọ́kọ́ tó máa lọ kí wọ́n ní council of obas nígbà tí wọ́n ṣèpàdé wọn ìjẹ́bọ̀ mọ̀ lọ kí wọn torí pé mo mọ rírì wọn ẹ kò sígbà tí mo máa lọ sí ibi tí mo ti ṣe ìpolongo ìbò tí mi kí ní kọ ṣe kábíyèsí máa lọ kí wọn á súre fún mi ẹnu àwọn bàbá yìí àṣẹ ni tí wọ́n bá bínú sí yàn ó ti nǹkan mi wá díẹ̀ nìyẹn tó àdúrà wọn lè máa ń gbà ní gbogbo ìgbà wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé mi ń fi ọ̀rọ̀ wọn ṣeré rárá àlàáfíà wọn gbogbo tí ó máa jẹ́ kí wọ́n lè máa rí èkíní ṣe lórí ibi tó lọ́lọ́ nìkan jọba sí máa ń gbìyànjú mo fẹ́ ṣe kọjá tí mo ṣe ń sìn mo dẹ̀ ń gbẹ́ lọ́n pẹ́ lágbára Ọlọ́run máa lè ṣe mo mọ àwọn nǹkan kan tí wọ́n fẹ́ tí mi ò tí ì ráàyè ṣe tí mo ní àfojúsùn pé màá ṣe wọ́n bá mi ní sùúrù díẹ̀ kàn ràn wá lọ́wọ́ kí sáà yìí lè máa tẹ̀síwájú kí n bọ́ sórí àlééfà lẹ́ẹ̀kejì èmi náà ló tún kàn lẹ́ẹ̀kejì ní ẹníwèé.
ẹ ṣe gómìnà ẹni bá fojú dọba nílẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n ní àwòwò àwò bí ọmọdé bá sì mọwọ́ wẹ̀
àbàgbà jẹ
tí bàbá bá wà mọwọ́ wẹ̀ fún àtàgbà ó jọ máa jẹ nínú àwò kan náà a ní nǹkan kan tá a fẹ́ lò lórí fọ́nrán tó bá ti wá tá a jíṣẹ́ yẹn tán a padà wá sórí ètò láti kásẹ̀ tó ní. The jingle please. Okay, while we are still waiting for the jingle, we want to appreciate you.
Thank you.
Your Excellency. Oh, the jingle is here. Can we have it, please?
ǹjẹ́ a lè rí lára àwọn òbí wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun tí ò máa pariwo Oyètọ́lá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ṣáá náà kò jẹ́jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ láéláé àyàfi òbí tó ti ṣetán láti jayé ọmọ ìmáyé lókù àwọn yẹn ni wọn ná ní ọjọ́ ọ̀la tí ó wà fún àwa ìwé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun òní torí nǹkan tó lè fa irú èrò bẹ́ẹ̀ gan-an ni òye mi gbogbo ojú ló kúkú rí àrà tí gọ́vnà Isiaka Gboyega Oyètọ́lá fi ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun dá láàrin ọdún 4 àkọ́kọ́ yìí lóòótọ́ Ọlọ́run ọba òṣèlú lájú orúkọ nítorí gómìnà Gboyega Oyètọ́lá gan-an là bá máa pè ní elétí gbòǹgbàròyé ṣebí nígbà kan làwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun máa ń pariwo pé half salary làwọn ń gbà tí ò sì tó nǹkan kan ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tọ́wọ́ Oyètọ́lá tẹ èkú idà àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ń gbóhùn wọn lódidi ní tẹ̀ríntẹ̀rín bẹ́ẹ̀ nígbà kan rí ní ìròyìn kárí orílẹ̀-èdè yìí pé dàrúdàpọ̀ ní ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Oyètọ́lá mà tún ṣe àtúnṣe tó tọ́ láti lè mú kí àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun lè padà sí ipò aṣáájú tí a jẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ mi ò fìgbà kankan gbọ́ wípé ìjọba Gboyega Oyètọ́lá yáwó kò sì jẹ́ gbèsè mọ́ èyí tó bá nílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ iṣẹ́ rere ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan ò dúró lórí agriculture transport infrastructure healthcare education civil service social investment rural development security art and culture àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ìjọba ìlérí olúwa ṣàmójútó gbogbo ohun tó yẹ kó jẹ́ àfojúsùn ìjọba tiwantiwa lọ́dún 4 àkọ́kọ́ yìí náà lèmi ṣe ní iṣẹ́ rere yóò gbọ́dọ̀ dúró ìlérí olúwa gbọ́dọ̀ tàsé nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ẹ̀bẹ̀ tí mo kàn fẹ́ bẹ̀ ẹ̀yin òbí wa ni wípé kí ẹ rántí wípé ẹ̀yin lẹ ní òní ṣùgbọ́n àwa ìwé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun la ní ọ̀la bẹ́ẹ̀ ọjọ́ ọ̀la tiwa owó yín ló wà lónìí ẹ jọ̀wọ́ ẹ fi òní yín bá wa tú ọ̀la wa ṣe o ẹ dìbò yín fún Oyètọ́lá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí kí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun lè yà lára ọ̀tọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yìí tí ẹ bá ń gbọ́ 4+4 ìsíkọ̀tù Oyètọ́lá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ni APC Progress.
kójọpọ̀ gbogbo iṣẹ́ tí ẹ ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa rẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ ṣe ní sáà àkọ́kọ́ yín. A fẹ́ bẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ fi àtẹ̀ránṣẹ́ jíṣẹ́ sí wa pé a lè ka gbogbo ẹ̀, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ béèrè tẹ̀ ń béèrè náà ni gómìnà ti dáhùn. Bóyá ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń fi ránṣẹ́ sí wa lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà tàbí àwọn tá ń ṣe látòkè òkun, ṣùgbọ́n mo kàn fẹ́ kà kan nínú tàwọn òkè òkun. Olórúkọ ní Olúṣẹ́gun Ayọ̀ Kúmápàyí from Glasgow, Scotland. Ó lóun ní Chief Executive Officer of Fẹ̀yìntì Football Club Òṣogbo. Wọ́n jẹ́jẹ́, wọ́n sì ń ṣe ìlérí pé bí ìgbẹ́kẹ́ ti fọwọ́ ti létí fi dúró, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn ò fọwọ́ tì yín ní sáà ìkejì yín ìbò tó ń bọ̀ ní ọjọ́ Sátidé ọjọ́ 16 oṣù tí a wà yìí. Ìwọ̀nba tí a ó lè gbà mọ́ nínú àwọn iṣẹ́ tẹ́ ẹ fi ránṣẹ́ sí wa ní a fẹ́ mọ rírì yín gómìnà pé ẹ darapọ̀ pẹ̀lú wa lórí ètò. We appreciate you greatly because we didn't even have opportunity of speaking on what you have done in the media sector, including OSBC. Maybe I should give you just 1 minute. Just a minute, sir.
Well, I think we've done quite well in supporting OSBC. First of all, let me thank you for this opportunity. I think this is the second time I will have the opportunity to use your platform to talk to our people. And I see the level of improvement. I had the opportunity of visiting your studio. It's still not the best that I want, but we are getting there. Your transformer and some other things, transmitter too, has been procured. My intention is to really turn around the architecture, the infrastructure of the station to be one of the best in Nigeria with the necessary technology, necessary equipment that will be competing with any other station in Nigeria. That's my mission for but I thank you. It's an opportunity to really talk to our people. Funke has been on my neck for some time, even though I didn't sleep until 4 a.m. this morning. Yet she still dragged me to come and do this. I enjoy it. I enjoy a bit of it.
We appreciate you and we appreciate her too, sir. On behalf of the Director General of OSBC, Rashid Folaran, the entire management and staff of OSBC, we say thanks for your support.
Thank you.
All the time. God bless you, sir.
Amen.
And wish you well.
Thank you.
In Saturday's election.
Thank you.
Please, sir, let me appreciate those who accompany you here. Deputy Governor is here, Mr. Benedict Oluboyega Alabi. The Secretary to the State Government, Prince Wole Oyebamiji. Chief of Staff to the Governor, Dr. Charles Biji Akinola. The Head of Service, Dr. Festus Oluboyega Oyebade. The Chairman of APC in the state is there, Prince Boyega Famodun. Of course, we have in the House Honorable Commissioner for Information, who is the chief host of this program. We appreciate you, ma. We appreciate Honorable Taiwo Akeju, the commissioner in your cabinet, as well as Lekan Badmus, another commissioner, former commissioner for information and strategy in the state. Now, your political advisor is here, Oluoma Sunday Akiri, one of us there all the time. Of course, Alaji Debo, I can't forget. Alaji Debo Badru, also special advisor in charge of political matters. A lot of people are here. We have permanent secretaries here. We have coordinating directors. I'm using our own Mrs. Bukola Aderibigbe to extend our courtesy and greetings to all of them. And you see, one of us too is Jami Olawumi, a member of your cabinet as well. We appreciate you all. And by this time next month, when another guest will be coming on guest platform on OSBC, the song we'll be singing will be a good one. Not that we are preparing for the election, but that the election has come and gone. But I won't sign out. I've appreciated one of our own is working with you, closely with you. The jingle you saw on there was produced by his office. I'm talking of Ismail Omikidan, the Chief Press Secretary to the government. Well, let me appreciate Mojibola Kayode Oke. Thanks for being here. Abimbola Babatunde.
Thank you, Akinola. Thanks for coming, sir.
Akinola Wolabi is my name. Until next month, it's bye-bye for now.
Thank you.